ask you.
Don't you just introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah.
To the audience, no, not TV.
Okay, James David, my name. My question is, why Burma didn't sack the commander for that camp in Cuba? Because he, yeah, because that was the first downfall, because he gave an order and they failed to carry out that order.
Yeah, that was really that whole issue was a debacle for Obama. I think first of all, I think he believed that dealing with Guantanamo Bay and that whole issue was going to be easier than it actually was. He also ran into a buzzsaw of Republican opposition who drew a line in the sand on that particular issue. And I think he made a calculated choice, which many of us didn't like. But I think he made a calculated choice. I think he saw that as a battle that he was not going to win at that particular time, and in which led to what you described. And it's unfortunate because I think many people thought that he just abandoned that issue, and a lot of people. And in essence, he did. But I think that was one of those unfortunate decisions, political decisions, and I'm injecting my own personal opinion on it, that really scared folks early on in his presidency. And there were several other things too that worried folks. You know, he went to West Africa and made some speeches that I personally believe were quite condescending. He did the same thing back home. He had a knack of, when he talked to black folks, of always talking about, you know, pulling your own weight, black men need to be better fathers, blah, 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 blah. He never gave that message to anybody else, which I thought was troubling, as if we're the only people that have those type of problems. And numerically speaking, other folks have that problem more than we do. So anyway, to answer your question, I think it was problematic. I don't really know inside of Barack Obama where he stands on that. See, and that's because when I voted for him, and I did, I understood him to be far more of a moderate person and rather conservative on some issues than other people did. And so I wasn't entirely surprised by some of that stuff. That would surprise me. But some of the stuff really didn't surprise me. If you look at his voting record, there's very little that would distinguish his record from Hillary Clinton's record in the Senate, and from Bill Clinton's record, for that matter, before that. They're political triplets in terms of the way that they vote and the way that they view the world. And of course, we know that Bill Clinton, in his second term, many people argue was a better Republican than Republicans, particularly on issues of security, military intervention, and those sort of things. They're not lefties. They're just not. And then we had several. Yeah.